Today's presentation will demonstrate how to import a Pcap file within TestCenter, replay it, and even edit it. There are a few prerequisites which need to be fulfilled in order to be able to import and replay a Pcap file. The first requirement would be to install a matching version TICO for the STC client. The second one is to make sure that the environmental variable path is properly configured, and there are a couple of commands that we'll use to help us determine that. The last requirement would be to install and point to Spirent's version of Wireshark. All of the required installation files can be found on the Spirent FTP server at Cisco premises. The IP address is 1081.124.220 and the credentials are Cisco guest. The easiest way to determine the version of STC that you are running is to HTTP to the IP address of the chassis. That's where you'll find that in this particular case I'm running 5.16. In order to obtain the GUI application, you can follow the download link from the web page, or you can get it from the FTP server. Once logged in the FTP server via FileZilla, for example, you can find the STC folder under which you'll find the particular release, in our case 5.16. Here you can download the GUI from the STC GUI folder or the TICO from the TICO folder. I have used 5.6.10, the 64-bit version. Under the STC tools folder, you'll find Spirent Wireshark folder where there are multiple installations. I have used the first one, the 64-bit one. The next setting would be to make sure that environmental variable path is properly set. You can go under Control Panel, System and Security, System Updates, and Advanced System Settings. The easiest thing to do here is to copy the contents of the system variable path and paste it into Notepad. Make sure in the path variable the correct version is listed up front. By default, it gets installed at the end and needs a user intervention to be put up front. The next step would be to confirm that TICO is calling the correct version for STC 5.16. The first command will be TICO sh, and inside we will call package require STC. Few seconds later, we should see 5.16. For my Pcap import, I have picked up a file containing 3 zip packets. In TestCenter, under Settings and Traffic Options, you get to configure and point to the tshark.exe, part of Wireshark. My TestCenter setup consists of 2 ports in back-to-back fashion. Under port A, Traffic Generator, you get to click on Generate Stream Block. Point to the Pcap file that you want to import. Almost immediately, 3 streams will be generated, 1 for each packet from the Pcap. You have the option to right-click a stream and edit. This concludes today's presentation.